What happens when the man sworn to uphold the law becomes the deadliest outlaw of them all? This isn't a movie. This is the true, jaw-dropping tale of Henry Plummer, the charming, sickly sheriff with a shadowy double life. Henry was the youngest of 7, but unlike his brothers and father, he wasn't cut out for the sailor's life. But Henry had a plan, a grand one. He joined the surge westward during the California gold rush and strike it rich. Not just for himself, but for his mother and siblings. Thin, pale, and battling tuberculosis, Henry's body was fragile, but his ambition unshakable. Within a month, he was standing in the land of golden dreams. Within a year, he even owned the Empire Bakery in Nevada City. Due to his worsening tuberculosis and local support, Henry was pardoned after only 6 months. He was soon implicated in a failed stagecoach robbery, accused but acquitted due to lack of evidence. Then came another deadly altercation in a saloon. This time, Henry escaped jail with a bribe and fled north. And in 1856, the citizens, impressed by his charm and discipline, elected him marshal. The man who once couldn't stomach the sea had now become a rising star in California law enforcement. Despite his outlaw reputation, he was so charismatic and polished that he ran for, and won, the position of sheriff. The people believed he could restore order, one that may have ended on the hangman's noose for crimes he may never have committed. The Innocents, a massive gang of bandits, were reportedly led by Plummer himself. Some say the group had over 100 members, complete with secret passwords, hand signals, and organized routes. It was raw, violent, and rich with gold. The perfect storm for a man like Henry. There, he reconnected with Cyrus Skinner and a rogues gallery of thieves, murderers, and desperados. He was now fully enmeshed in a network of crime. But again, Plummer avoided punishment, thanks to witnesses saying Cleveland drew first. Grab your boots and hold on to your 10-gallon hat, because this Wild West mystery has it all. After being re-elected marshal in 1857, Henry's life took a dark turn. He got involved with a married woman, and when her husband, John Vedder, challenged him, they dueled. Henry shot and killed the man. Henry Plummer's story begins in the quiet coastal town of Addison, Maine. In 1832, born into a family of hardy sea captains, eventually convicted of second-degree murder, Henry was sent to the brutal San Quentin prison. When his father died during Henry's teenage years, the family began to buckle under the weight of poverty. In 1852, just 19 years old, Henry set out on an epic journey. A mail ship to Panama, a mule train across the jungle, and another boat to San Francisco. He found work at a bakery, saved up, and by 1853 was investing in a mine and running his own ranch. But the Wild West wasn't just gold and glory. It was temptation, blood, and betrayal. What followed was a courtroom circus to trials, sensational headlines, and intense public scrutiny. Inside those stone walls, he met the likes of Cyrus Skinner, a career criminal who would later resurface in Henry S. shadowy future, but he returned to a changed town. His once promising life spiraled into chaos, brothels, debt, desperation. In a bizarre twist, he sent word to California newspapers that he and his new outlaw associate, Jim Mayfield, had been hanged, faking their own deaths to throw off any lawman on their trail. By 1862, Plummer was bouncing between towns in Idaho, including Lewiston and Orofino. But fate, and maybe ambition, led him to Bannock, Montana, a lawless boomtown teeming with miners, gamblers, and killers. He courted a woman named Electa Brown and settled in instead. Chaos exploded. Robberies skyrocketed, murders increased, and rumors began to swirl. The sheriff might be the puppet master behind it all. When Plummer killed Jack Cleveland, a rival who taunted him in a saloon, the town grew uneasy. The people of Bannock and nearby Virginia City had had enough. By late 1863, vigilante justice was brewing like a storm cloud. Secret meetings were held. Oaths were sworn. Posters marked with cryptic numbers 3777 began appearing on doors. Vigilantes began dragging suspects from their homes. 24 men were hanged in a matter of weeks. They marched them through the freezing night to the very gallows Plummer had once built, and when one of them, a dying man named Erastus Red Yeager, accused Henry Plummer of leading the gang, the people snapped. Then came Henry. He reportedly begged for his life, even offered to reveal the location of a buried $100,000 in gold. But they weren't interested. The sheriff turned outlaw was hanged before dawn. There was shockingly little evidence tying him directly to any murders. Just one desperate man's last-ditch accusation on January 10, 1864. A group of 75 armed vigilantes arrested Plummer and his deputies. Buck Stinson and Ned Ray. Historians now question everything, because history doesn't always tell the truth. But we dig until it does. Stinson and Ray were hanged first, cursing and crying. And here's where the legend gets murky. Was Henry Plummer really a criminal mastermind, or the victim of mob justice? Some believe the vigilantes were the real power-hungry thugs, masking murder as morality. After Plummer's death, crime didn't stop. In fact, it escalated. His widow, Electa, always maintained his innocence, and modern researchers point fingers at the Virginia City newspaper editor, a vigilante himself, who may have crafted the whole outlaw narrative. So, was Plummer a traitor to his badge, or a scapegoat sacrificed to cover up deeper corruption? If this story of dual lives, dusty trails, and deadly secrets hooked you in, hit that like button, subscribe to Time's Forgotten Truths, and drop your theory in the comments. Was Henry Plummer a legend or a lie? Until next time, keep your boots dusty and your mind sharp. Thanks for watching Barely Forgotten. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.